Так. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, gentleman next to me, his name is Vlad Grabman, and he does bonjorno photography. Vlad, can you tell us what is it, bonjorno photography, and how to find a proper bonjorno photographer in New York City? Do you go by reviews? Do you go by the a referral by someone you know? Do you go by someone who is free, who is willing to do it, for no money? How do you find someone that you will have fun and not regret your choice?
Usually you go by the portfolio. You want to look at the pictures that the person producing, and you like them, you like the
But
style.
what if the pictures are stolen, say, from someone else? Like, what if it's not their pictures? So let's say it's their pictures, but in 20 years they just like you to snap five good pictures. Doesn't mean that they will do a good picture for you.
That's a good point, and that's a good point. And you should probably meet with the photographer face to face. Always see what they're up to. See what You usually need to get a good vibe.
But how the meeting in person? So there are some people who are very charming and nice, but doesn't mean that they are good photographers. Like how, and specifically in bonjorno style.
You can't tell. You have to take a chance there, and there's always a chance you got to find somebody who's not up to the challenge. And it's really the vibe, the pictures that they have. When is the last time they shot? You can ask them to show me what the last thing you've done. And personally, I shoot not just the clients. I also shoot with professional models and models I scouted everywhere, and that's how I showcase my latest work, my latest ideas, latest style.
Do you think referrals, like introductions, like by someone they know, matters? Like if their friend is telling them, "Listen, this guy really knows what he's doing, and he got a feeling and a kind of a style that I would recommend that they will trust their friends."
Of course they do, and it's great to have referrals. It's great to have someone you can talk to. It's great to have, oh, hey, I used this guy and I liked him. The vibe was good, and these are the pictures I got, and they're amazing. But the problem here is that different people like different things. And
can you ask a photographer, let's say, a few questions that will kind of nail down if that's a real deal or it's just someone pretend to be a photographer in the style? Is there any particular questions that a client can ask and kind of see in a few seconds that if this is a real deal?
unfortunately, there is no questions that you can ask unless you're a better photographer than them, more experienced. There's nothing you can ask that will give you a clear picture, because it's kind of like a test, and all photographers are prepared for this test. And the only thing you can do is look at the pictures and see if you get the right vibe, if you get the right feeling, if that's, oh yeah, that's what I want. There's nothing you can ask unless there's basic questions. How safe would I feel? How what about the images? How are they going to be saved? How are you going to show them? Are you going to share them with anybody else? Aside from those basic questions, there's really nothing you can ask that would should tell you.
Let's say, what is your process? How do you do things? And you see by the way the person react and how they handle the situation, you can see if they've done this before, what kind of challenges they face. Can you see that this person is doing this consistently and have a ability, whether it's a good day or they have a headache, they will still be able to produce proper pictures? Is there like a set of like maybe a simple like, okay, let's talk about like how do I get ready for the session? Let's say, well, like some of the questions that we are following here will be how to prepare for the bonjorno photo shoot, for example. You would know that.
Of course, yeah. You can ask questions about how to prepare. And a good Boudoir photographer should usually
tell them. We practice a little. We have a few notes, guys, for you.
A good Boudoir photographer actually walks you through the process of preparation. They tell you what to wear, what not to wear, what to do the night before, and they get you into the right physical and mental state before the shoot. Because one thing is being prepared and taking all your lingerie pieces or whatever your photographer tells you to bring. The other thing that's important is to walk into the set with the right mindset, with the open mind, prepared, thinking positive, and overall not being too stressed about, oh my God, how am I posing or how do I feel? Don't stress out. A good photographer will walk you through that. They will guide you. They will challenge you a little bit. to kind of shake it out and get you out of your box.
But the bonjorno photography is quite different from many other styles in photography. For example, when the lady shop for they don't want to usually be seen in what they actually have. They want to buy something new, probably, right? For the session, something unusual that would not be a daily, some lingerie that they wear on, on their fitness trip or like on days. Like, how do you prepare? Do you do makeup in the night, like a few hours before? How do you kind of wipe your teeth? Make a schedule with your photographer, like a, I don't know, hairstylist. Like, what are the sets they can do? Turn off their phone, so no calls, nothing stressful is coming their way during the sessions. They don't have to run. Okay, we schedule this, but now I have to go pick up my kids, or I have to, do some work. So you kind of free up your schedule, so you don't in the middle when you have to book the studio and room and everything. All of a sudden you have to leave because you have some kind of emergency. You kind of. Yeah. Is there ways to prepare so they don't have a stressful day?
Of course, that's the part of walking into the set, walking onto the set with a positive set of mind and being
Good
prepared.
Food.
Yeah,
Good
food, drinks. Stay hydrated always. One thing we do is we walk through with the client all the aspects of the shoot. We plan ahead. We have all the looks planned out. Speaking of the regular lingerie, it depends on the photographer. Some photographers prefer the cookie cutter approach, and they go through, set of poses. Oh, put this lingerie on, put this lingerie on, and some people are okay with that. It's really up to the client how they want to do it. Some clients even bring in their significant others.
So the mood board is really
Absolutely.
important. That you plan which kind of looks you want. So at the end, but how do you make a client comfortable? Let's say you take pictures and they see it. Oh, I hate it. I don't like it. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna show the pictures because it's not fully done. You film in RAW probably, right? So say they don't really understand the colors and how it's gonna be edited eventually. So by showing half done work, you kind of make them nervous. On the other side, if you don't show the pictures, the person doesn't know what she looks like. She wants to create particular theme. Like, what's the process there for you?
So for clients, I usually don't show the pictures because it's kind of like choosing between two evils. Mm-hmm. And the lesser evil is not to make them panic. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, my, this showing or my that showing. I try to edit at least one picture as soon as possible, maybe within a day or two. Mm-hmm. Show them the end result and ask them, are you okay with these edits? Are you okay with this type of imaging? And usually that's what triggers the positive response. And they mentally set themselves, oh, if this image they got to me like the first thing tomorrow morning is so great, I can only imagine how good the rest would be. And that sets them up in a positive mood, positive perception. And it's something similar to everybody starting the show. Don't we have a great show for you tonight? And that's exactly what this is. Don't we have great pictures for you tonight?
Okay, cool. So let's talk about our next question is how to pose for the shoot. Let's say you're not a professional model. Is there any particular rules? Do you take pictures, print the pictures that you like and say, okay, I'm gonna do this pose, I'm gonna do this pose. Just position me, place my hand, turn me the way I supposed to look in camera, because they cannot see themselves through the shutter.
Well, first of all, I do have mirrors in my studio, so that helps definitely, 100%. The other part is, yes, customers, clients bring in pictures, printed pictures. Oh, I want this pose, I want that pose. And we definitely help them. My personal policy on my shoots is that I don't touch the models, so I have somebody from the crew, a female member of the crew, will help me set the right things.
When I do my fashion shoots, it's not bonjorno, but I still have a straw with a little brush, and I use that so I have something between me and the model. So if I want to move her hand or I just use an instrument so there is no physical contact.
Yeah, definitely. And I spent 10 years in theater, so I can pose, I can do things, and I can show them what I want from them. And again, I have a member of a cast who would always help. And sometimes model is in a specific pose, and then this strand of hair is obstructing the eye or something, and the makeup artist she would help. She would remove it so it wouldn't annoy the model, the client. So that works. One more thing is, what most people don't realize is that the poses from non-professional model don't look natural. They either overthink it, they get all tensed up, like, am I posing right? Or they overdo it and it looks like ridiculous, like, and it doesn't look right in the pictures. So in pictures, it looks even worse than in real life. So what we do, we just put people in the natural position. The ideal way is to not make them pose, but make them